What's up, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here, and today we're talking about the extension of Icetide 1.6.2 patch notes, and just an overall check-in on the season with my review so far. You can see here that I've got many things knocked out and many things not started when it comes down to the seasons. If I go just to my completed, I've been having a lot of fun knocking out the various Winter Knights, Squires, Flyers, especially the Silver Flyers and more. And so as I look to the endurance challenges, I see that I've got a lot of work to do. So having an extra 33 days honestly isn't that bad a call. Now we do have another hidden stronghold challenge that we're going to be hunting for and playing. And if you guys haven't seen this week's Community Cortex, sorry I haven't posted on it just yet. It's been a kind of a crazy week. We've got the Tyrant Mind is actually the season rotator, and it's a lot of fun, honestly. It's really one of the best things to go. This is one of my favorite ones, so I've been missing it the whole Icetide season, and it's just good to see it come back. So as I look at really what I need to be doing is a lot of free play events, trials, more coolant harvesting or starting the coolant harvesting, and obviously defeating many more outlaws, not just to collect the crystals, but I want to be able to get to the tip of the iceberg too, because you can see here that's where I'm going to get the most of the rewards for the different armor sets as well. So when I look at this, really trials is what I'm lacking. I just need to keep playing the game. So these next 33 days are going to be kind of fun. And to put this into context regarding how much I've been playing, typically 3 or 4 nights for a couple of runs each. I've really enjoyed playing Icetide casually. I think that's sometimes the best way to consume. And with it, I've also been able to cap out my legendary Storm here with power level 960. So all in all, having a really good time with Icetide. Let's go and talk about the notes, and then I'm going to give my thoughts about the season as it works as a whole and what I hope that we see in the future. But beyond getting and collecting the weapons and trying to obviously get better inscriptions for my javelins, let's go ahead and dive into the patch notes for patch 1.6.2 and kind of talk about it. So obviously the biggest new feature, quote unquote, is that the Icetide season has been extended to run through February. From a bugs and improvement section, they've reduced the wait to start time of trial races from 60 seconds to 20. Honestly, that's really nice. Tyrant Mind is back. They had a bug with it, so they kind of kept it out of the rotation. Now it's back, which is great as a part of the seasonal challenge. Now, they fixed an issue where seasonal wreaths were where they were playing their collection sound effect even when they spawned into the world incorrectly. The weekly Stronghold Challenge completion credit is now working and tracking based off the completed strongholds, and not how many players are in the season at the time of completion. A Soldier's Reward inversion is now correctly using its own icon as intended. They fixed an issue that was preventing the electric orbs from correctly spawning at the Akakned Defense Annex in the Tyrant Mine. They resolved a problem in the Daily Contracts Challenge where the amount of Mino crystals rewarded was incorrect. It now rewards the appropriate 500 crystals. They've raised the first fog wall in the Heart of Rage to prevent gaining score multipliers earlier than intended. They resolved issues with the Frost Master Challenge not properly displaying and not left out in the cold not being completed. They resolved issues with the collection left out in the cold being blocked by an issue with some of the wreaths. And for those who are unable to act with any more of the wreaths, but the challenge has not been completed, entering free play will automatically complete the challenge. And they also resolved an issue with the time trials not tracking progress towards challenges, and resolved an issue where players were unable to access the seasonal store from the launch bay. So overall, we've been playing Icetide for the last 40 odd days. Icetide is something that brought me back into Anthem, and I would easily say, depending on who you are, it's a great time to be playing it, and it's not the time to come back. If you're frustrated, if you want something more, and I think the entire Anthem community can recognize that for the most part. Yes, we want something deeper. We want something, that has a lot more meat on it. We want more reasons to grind these weapons and these gears and all of the good stuff that the game has to offer. We want the game is stable. It's definitely made its improvements. It's brought in some quality of life. Overall, the community is hopeful and rooting for the game for 2.0. But with the extension of it, was it extended due to trying to address some of the core issues in which things weren't being tracked properly? Obviously, doing something and not getting credit for it can ultimately be frustrating. Okay, I get that. But overall, from a community perspective, we don't know what's next. And that is exciting and a little scary. And it's scary because what is 2.0? What is next? What is the plan going forward? The best thing about this game is the concept of it having a future. That the work I'm putting in now, grinding coin, getting different drops just so that I can have unique builds, so I can just run around, play, and have a good time. You know, that's exciting to me. However, is it, you know, E3 this year? Is it this year alone where we'll see like the core systems being integrated? I don't have answers for you. These are the questions that I have when playing this game. This is a game that I have such a complex relationship with because I see such potential in it. And so you should know, if you're watching this and you're like, should I come back and play Anthem? Is it worth it? Is it worth my time? Is it worth my money? I can't answer that for you specifically. I can tell you that I'm enjoying it, but I see potential in games, and I always have seen potential in games, and this is just a part of my history. It kind of does separate me from the traditional gamer mindset, and I'm not trying to like saying that mindset's wrong. I would probably be more apt to say that my mindset's a little bit wonky. I'm probably the weird one, but. And that's that. You know, it is the butt of the crux of the question. The butt in there. The butt. Sorry, it just makes me laugh. Icetide is a great filler. It's a stop at a gas station on a long road trip, like you're going to Disney World or something like that, and you're driving, and you come upon this diner, and they happen to serve some really great food. And you have a great time. You know, you're like, this was great. But we can't stay here. We have to move forward. The destination is hopefully better. It's going to be hopefully more worth it. We're invested. And if you got this game for $5 and $10, like, this is great. Play through the story. Grind out some gear. Hopefully you're playing with friends. Friends make kind of all the difference when it comes to the whole kit and caboodle. But I'm gonna leave you with that. There's nothing really more to say about the game in terms of a recommendation. Anthem isn't dead, despite what people label it as. It's a meme, and it's really up to BioWare if they want this to be something bigger than it can, bigger than it is. I really hope that, especially the thing about all of it, the final thought is, as I've been playing around in free play, that is the core of the game. That is the fun part of the game. When you're flying around, you're shooting, you're doing world events, all that stuff feels great. And if they could put you into that world and let you queue up missions, bring in more of the RPG element, let us design out our characters and do different things, that would be a lot of fun. And I think that's, I've said that numerous times, and so I'm saying it here again. That's the fun parts of the game are fun if we can, kind of cut down on all the other BS stuff. Oh, and crossplay. Yeah, absolutely. Crossplay would be huge. So it's with that. Hopefully you found this video interesting, informative. Yeah, I'd love to know what you think about it. I'd love to know if you're playing it, if Anthem is a no-go for you, if it ever would become a go for you. The challenge Anthem has actually isn't in rebuilding, it's in timing. Whatever the thing they do, if they're hoping that it's going to bring people back, put people's attention onto it, make it worth the pain and the time and the money, there is a clock on there. In a couple of years, you could have another big looter game really showing it up, and that's fine. That's the nature of and the risk of this all. So at the end of the day, I'm always rooting for devs. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. Anthem is a case study, if nothing else. And you know what, BioWare, if you're listening for, by some odd chance, I hope you guys crush it. I hope you make the game that you really wanted to make. And yeah, because I'd love to play it. Anyway, for Ginger Prime, my name's Brian. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys have an amazing day. And I'll see you soon. Take care.